Welcome to the Bishop Stortford Community Podcast, the show where we shine a light on the incredible businesses, community leaders, and local legends shaping our town. I'm your host, James O'Donnell, and today we are joined by Charli Downs. Charli, great to have you on the show.
Thanks for having me.
Charli, for those of us who don't know you yet, who are you and what do you do here in Bishop Stortford?
Well, I live here for one, so I've lived here all my life, which is 40 years. And I run a business here with my husband. I'm a mum of 2 children, but I'm also a writer, a blogger and a columnist. And I just write about what it's really like to live in Bishop Stortford.
You've become one of the most famous people in Bishop Stortford through your writing recently. I don't think anybody on social media would have missed your interesting, unique takes on life in Stortford. How did all that get started?
Well, it all started with Lidl. There was because I call myself a writer. I've always enjoyed writing, but a lot of the writing I've done in my professional life has been kind of for business. But I turned 40 earlier this year and I just kind of wanted to get more of my writing out there and sort of use it to connect with more people, really. And I was kind of thinking, how am I going to do that? And then Lidl came along and opened up a store in Bishop Stortford, which had nothing to do with me, but I was really excited about it because that is the kind of thing that I get excited about these days. I thought I'll go and check it out. Went in, thought it was a great shop, and I just wrote this review and sent it to my friends, and they said, you should put that on the local community groups, which I did, and people just seemed to really connect with it, and it was really lovely. A lot of people said, it's nice to hear positive things about the town and, a new place that's opened up. And I thought, well, actually, here's a way that I can write more and connect more with people. Because actually, I think if you're a writer, they always say to write what you know. I definitely know about Bishop Stortford. I've lived here forever. I've sort of seen it from every aspect. I've seen it as growing up as a child and then as an adult and a parent now as well. So I thought I'll start a blog. So it's called Honestly Charli. I'm on Facebook, Instagram and Substack. And I'm just posting about people in Stortford, businesses, general lifestyle stuff. I'm doing a kind of a project at the moment where I'm talking about Christmas shopping. So I'm trying to buy all my Christmas presents in Bishop Stortford, trying to support the local businesses. So I've got so much to write about and I've really enjoyed it. It's been really fun.
Fantastic. And this is only, Lidl's only been there for 2 months?
Yeah.
So you've only just started?
Yeah, absolutely. But it's just, it's been amazing how people have connected with it. I think it's because people resonate with stuff. I think, we've got access to so much now. We've got access to so much information and news around the world. And I think sometimes that can be quite overwhelming because you kind of feel like, stuff going on in Russia or, Israel or somewhere, and you can't really do anything about it. So I think it's nice to read about stuff that you do understand because it's talking about your local community and things that you can get involved with and businesses that you can support. I think that's why people resonate with it.
Do you think it's unique to Bishop Stortford, that feeling?
I mean, I don't have much experience of anywhere else, but I do, there's a lot of people that I've spoken to who have moved here that haven't lived here all their life, and they've moved here, like, for example, from London and, or from elsewhere, in the world. And all of them have been so positive about the town and just what a nice community it is and how there's so many sort of local groups to go to. If you're a parent, for example, there's so many groups that you can go to. And, just neighbours and that community feel of walking down the street. Like you said, you saw me in town the other day and you were going to wind down your window and shout at me. And you don't really get that, in a big city, for example. And I really like that.
Yeah. I think one of the things that I've found through starting this podcast is the amount of people out there that are trying to support each other and lift each other up in really positive ways. And there's so many independent businesses and shops that are in Stortford. For someone like you to shine a light on them in the same way that I am from a podcast perspective, you're shining a light on them as well. I'm not sure there's many other places that you could do that because so many other high streets, for example, have become so homogenized with the kind of shops that they have on there. Yeah. We're very lucky, I think, with the amount of unique businesses we have.
Yeah, and I'd love to see more as well. And that's why I think, we should support these businesses because the more that we support them, the more our town will thrive and it will be more attractive to new businesses. But one thing you know, like I said, I've only been doing this for 2 months, but one thing that has really come across to me, the people that I've met, there's so many talented people here and creative people. It's really quite incredible. I didn't really realise before. I kind of always used to think of Stortford used to be described as a commuter town, so somewhere that people would live to get on the train and go and work in the city. But that's not the case at all. There's so many people that, you know, create things here and work here and run businesses here. And it just makes me personally feel great to, if I'm buying something or investing in something, it makes me feel good to know that that's going back into my local community, because I think I will benefit from that in more ways than one as well.
Yeah. I think there are lots of businesses that are, as much as they are local businesses, they are supporting other local businesses as well. So the whole ecosystem is fantastic. Yeah. What are you most excited about? You know, you've only been going for 2 months, but, you know, 2026, there's so many more people that you can go and talk to and write about. What have you got planned?
I mean, I've got a lot to write about. I have a regular column now in the Bishop Stortford Independent newspaper. The first one came out a couple of weeks ago. I was talking about Stortford's nightlife, and that was nice to see how many people kind of commented on that, because a lot of people have, you know, great memories from back in the day. H2O and all that, and so that's the kind of thing that I'm writing about, is just stuff that Stortfordians will connect with. And then I will be writing a piece for the Bish magazine in their spring issue, so I'm hoping to write as much as I can, really. And like I said, write what you know. I'm going to write about the local area, and also just keep going on my blog, so I will write about anything that comes up, businesses. If anyone wants to reach out to me, they can, to talk about maybe collaborating on something. You know, I'm a freelancer, so I can take commissions for, even if it's just writing content or copywriting for businesses. If they need that and they like my style, then I'm available for that as well. But yeah, I think it'll be interesting to see where it goes.
It's exciting. I think there are so many groups that are championing the kind of independent business model in Bishop Stortford. You're going to have no problem in, you know, finding things to write about and people to shine a light on. What are some of your highlights from what you've been doing most recently?
Well, I think it's just when you start to connect with people. I mean, and, you know, you just realise that how amazing this community is, really. And, you know, when you just have people reaching out to you and saying, oh, I really loved this, you know, even with that Lidl review, it was really lovely, because a lot of people said to me, this has really brightened up my day. And someone said to me, you know, I was kind of having a bit of a bad day, and then I read that and it really made me laugh, and it just really made my day. And people are saying to me that they like the positivity, because, you know, we do hear a lot of kind of moaning, don't we? That's normal for social media, and in the news as well, there's a lot of kind of bad news. So I think it's quite nice when you're trying to talk about the positives. I know that there are, you know, I'm not naive. I know that there are things that need to be improved, but I think it's always nice when people say, do you know, it's quite refreshing to hear positive things.
Yeah, it's the positivity and the slight whimsy. That's how I would describe the content that you're putting out. So it's an interesting take. It's not just like, hey, look how great these are. It's there's more to it than that, and I think that's what makes people so interested in it.
Yeah. So I was just going to say, I like entertaining people. I like making people smile, and so I love it when people, you know, that happens with something I've written. And the other thing that I'm kind of thinking about, and I don't know if it's going to happen yet, I'll see if, you know, people are interested, but I'm considering writing a bit of fiction as well, probably on Substack, and sharing that. And I've kind of had this idea that it will be connected to Stortford, so it may be. I don't know if you've heard the legend of the Grey Lady, James. Do you know that one?
That tickles a grey cell in the back of my head. Why do I know?
Well, it's quite famous in Stortford.
Right.
A lot of Stortfordians will know we've got this kind of resident ghost called the Grey Lady, and there's lots of different schools of thought on, you know, who she was. But we've got some ancient, you know, buildings here and underground tunnels and things like that. And so I kind of thought it would be quite fun to do a little diary of the Grey Lady, because who is she? And kind of had this imagining that maybe she, you know, she's been dead for 300 years, but she's now stuck in a flexible working space in Bishop Stortford. So she might have some diary entries about all the different people that are coming in. So yeah, I might do something like that as well.
That's interesting. There is a rich history in Bishop Stortford. It's incredible how long so many buildings have been around for, and the stories. I often think that whenever I see any of the kind of little alleys or passageways, I think, you know, this has probably been here for hundreds and hundreds of years. What stories, you know, happened here before?
100%.
Yeah, that sounds fascinating. Yeah, I'd be up for having a look at that. If you launch it, let me know, and we'll do another episode specifically on that, Charli. That'd be great. So if people are listening into this and they haven't explored your content, where's the best place for them to go to experience everything Charli has to offer?
Well, at the moment, so it is Facebook. So Honestly Charli on Facebook, and my handle on Instagram is Honestly Charli Blogger, and it is Charli with an I, no E, because I thought that was cool when I was about 11. It's always stuck. But you know, Charli XCX is the same, so it must be cool. And so those are the two places really that I'm posting all of my content, and then you can obviously find me in the Bishop Stortford Independent as well.
Wonderful. We will link up to those, so if anybody hasn't discovered you yet, they can do on those links there, and then everything that you're putting out at the moment, I do like it as much as I can on the socials.
Thank you.
All right, it's Stortford Spotlight time. Are you ready for your Stortford Spotlight questions?
I am, yeah.
Quick pause. If you've ever looked in the mirror and just not felt like yourself, this one's for you. Local business owner Sue Tillett at All About You has been helping women in Bishop Stortford feel confident, beautiful and seen for over 16 years. From brows and lashes to wedding makeup and empowering masterclasses, it's not about trends, it's about you. Head to allaboutyou.uk.com and let her know the podcast sent you. Look good, feel like yourself again, support local. Right, back to the show. Fantastic. These are 3 questions that we ask every guest that comes onto the Bishop Stortford Community podcast. Let's get into it. Question number 1. If you could put one sentence on a billboard in Jackson Square, what would it say and who needs to hear it the most?
So I think we've spoken about this, but it would say support local. So that means support your local high street, support local businesses and support the people who live here. Like I said, you know, sometimes you hear a lot of doom and gloom and you hear a lot of negativity. And I think if we want our town to thrive as a community, we all need to get involved and we need to support it as much as we can. I think the more that we do that, we'll get the benefit from it because, you know, if we're supporting our local businesses, then more businesses will be attracted to come here and then we'll have more choice. So I would definitely say just, support your local community.
Fantastic. You know, that's what the podcast is all about. That's what your blogs are all about. That's what your content's all about. And I think there are people out there that try and support local as much as they can.
Yeah.
And let's keep that going because I think that's the thing that makes Stortford so different from every other town out there is how the amount of independent stores there are and the amount of people that have stepped out of their comfort zone to start their own businesses in Bishop Stortford. Yeah. We should celebrate it as much as we can.
Absolutely.
Question number 2. Where do you... Oh, this is difficult for you, Charli. This is going to be because you're everywhere.
It's not difficult.
Okay, interesting. Question number 2. Where do you go in Stortford that you secretly hope never gets too popular?
Well, so I am an absolute sushi fiend. I absolutely adore sushi. I could eat it for breakfast, lunch and dinner. And I adore number 14. I can't go there too often because it's a treat to go there. But the food is just incredible. It's as good as anything you'll get in London. And the service is amazing. The drinks are amazing. The aesthetic is amazing. I just love it in there. And I think Stortford really needed somewhere like that. And I was so happy when it opened up. I think people are actually coming there from, you know, that don't live here as well. They're actually coming there as a destination. But I just adore their food. Yeah, so definitely number 14.
That's wonderful. Good sushi is another level onto if you haven't experienced it before.
Raw fish.
Yeah. No, it's not that. Go and try good sushi. It's the experience, I think, is
absolutely. Even the cutlery and the dishes, the way they bring it out and have all the whatever that stuff is, the stuff that comes out. I don't want to call it smoke. I don't think it's smoke, but it's just the whole experience is
steam.
Yeah, steam.
Yeah, the steam. Yeah,
we'll go with steam.
That's wonderful. Okay, number 3. Who's doing something special in town that more people need to know about?
Well, I want to shout out 2 people, if that's okay. And I'm sorry, but it's my mum and dad. So, because my mum and dad are amazing people. They've lived here since the 70s and they just do so much for the community as well. They do so much voluntary work. They work a lot with vulnerable people, elderly people that are on their own, and they're just incredible. But my mum, so specific things, my mum runs a cafe down at the Baptist Church on a Tuesday afternoon, and it's just a really lovely, safe space for anyone to go in, people who maybe don't necessarily feel comfortable going into town or into a cafe in town, but when you go there you're just so welcomed with a nice cup of tea and a biscuit and a chat, and you can have any background, and it's just for anyone to go and feel welcome. So that's a really lovely thing for the community, I think. And then my dad is the chairman of the Bishop Stortford Town Band, which is the brass band that you'll see at Remembrance Parade, and they do Christmas carols and things. So he plays the trombone and he's the chairman of the band, and they're always hoping to get new members. They are actually offering free brass instrument lessons. It starts on the 20th of January. I think it's on a Tuesday evening, and there's 4 weeks of completely free lessons, and it can be for anyone aged 8 up to 80, and they provide the instrument. It's really welcoming and friendly. It's just such a nice opportunity for you if you fancy playing a brass instrument but you don't know where to start. I think that's great that they're doing that for free.
Wow, what wonderful people that are, this is exactly what we're talking about, supporting the community, making Stortford a better place to live. I saw the advert for the free brass band playing on the socials.
Yeah.
I instantly thought about my children, but they're luckily for me too young.
My son's playing the violin at the moment, but do you know what? It's going fine.
Yeah. So they're too young to do that, but they sound like fantastic events. We must get them on the podcast. Charli.
Yeah, listen, my dad would love to, I'm sure. I don't know if my mum would, but my dad would.
Well, this, shining a light in these kind of groups, groups like that make a community work.
100%. And music, no one can deny that music makes you feel good. Whenever the band, they came along to a school fete that we did, and everyone said it really made it, them being there. So yeah, I'll have a chat to them.
Fantastic. We'll set that up.
Yeah.
That'd be awesome. And then finally, again, where's the best place for people to find you online and get involved?
So my blog is called Honestly Charli. I'm on Facebook. If you just search Honestly Charli with an I, and on Instagram, Honestly Charli Blogger. I'm posting there all the time, content about Stortford, and if that's of interest to you, then give me a follow.
Awesome. That's a wrap. Thanks, Charli, for joining us today on the Bishop Stortford Community Podcast.
Thank you so much.
And if you enjoyed this episode, the best way to support the show, support a local initiative like this, is to hit follow, leave a quick review on YouTube, Apple or Spotify, share it on your socials or with someone in town that maybe isn't on social media that you think might be interested in local stories. And if you've got a local legend, just like Charli's dad, that and mum, that we want to shine a light on the podcast, drop me a message or tag their name in the comments below so we can shine a light on all the work that they are doing in Bishop Stortford. That's it for today. Go and support local.
Absolutely. Support
That's
local.
the right word. Support local. Fantastic. Thanks again, Charli.
Thank you, James. Bye.
If you run a business built on trust, but your website's full of stock photos and silence, we need to talk. True Tone Testimonials helps coaches, consultants, and other service providers turn real client stories into high-converting video content. No scripts, no fluff, just honest words from real people who already love what you do. They're professionally filmed and ready to drop onto your site or into your socials. Head to truetone.com testimonials.card.co. Let your clients do the selling. Okay, support local. Let's get back to the show.